We begin with breaking news out of Mission Beach, where lifeguards rescued someone who was trapped under the sand. We first brought it to you in our 5 o'clock hour. Lifeguards were called to the beach area just south of Belmont Park right before 5 over reports of a person trapped in the sand. These images from Chopper 8, you can see right here. Chopper 8 was the first to respond. We brought this to you live in our 5 o'clock hour. Those first responders helping some beachgoers as well. You can see the young adult was able to walk out of that hole on her own power, helped right there by first responders, and take it to a stretcher after she was dug out of the sand. They were able to put her on the stretcher, take her into an ambulance. She'll be taken to a hospital to be evaluated for any injuries, but we were happy to see that it looked like the person was doing okay. So we don't know the extent of their injuries, but we can tell you that rescue is now over. Our other top story tonight, day 2 of the Republican National Convention is well underway in Milwaukee as we come on the air tonight. Safety is the theme of today's programming, with speeches expected to focus on crime and the border. Delegates say they are more united than ever behind former President Trump, whose campaign is working to further unite the party. Former primary rivals Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis are scheduled to speak tonight, with Haley set to take the stage any moment now, followed by the Florida governor. Delegates are also hearing from Americans directly impacted by drugs and crime. Immigration is also taking center stage tonight at the convention. It has long been one of former President Trump's top issues, and he has criticized the number of migrants entering the country illegally through the U.S. border with Mexico. CBS 8's Kirsten Holmes joins us live from the Tijuana River Valley near the border after talking to local Republicans at the convention and immigration activists here in San Diego. Kirsten?
Yeah, I'm here at the border wall off Monument Road, where if you take a look behind me, volunteers here tell us that the number of unauthorized crossings have fallen abruptly after President Joe Biden's latest executive action suspending a lot of asylum claims here at the border. Now, despite the decline in migrants trying to cross the border here, Trump supporters say President Biden just is not getting the job done.
We don't know who they are. We know that many of those people are from prisons and that they're here with malintent. We know there's people that are coming over from countries that hate us and are in some aspect of the war with us.
That's El Cajon Mayor Bill Wells on why he supports President Trump's immigration plan to stop migrants coming into the U.S. illegally. But Pedro Rios with the American Friends Service Committee, a Quaker or religious organization tasked with focusing on the human rights of migrants hoping to come to America, Rios says that's just flat out wrong.
It's a misguided term to suggest that migrants bring crime to the United States. In fact, what we see is the complete opposite. Migrants are contributing to the well-being of this country.
Rio says Trump's campaign promises to seal the border, stop the migrant invasion, and carry out the largest deportation in American history is problematic.
Those are points that are extremely worrisome to me, especially because they seek to dramatically target people for whom they believe should not be in the United States.
Local Republican activist Tony Krivarik says he immigrated from Sweden 30 years ago and supports former President Trump's immigration policies.
I'm an immigrant. I found out what the rules were, and I worked through the system to get here. So I think when you talk to legal immigrants, they would vastly agree with me, and that is that we have to have rules for that. And when those rules are broken, it hurts everybody from San Diego all the way throughout the country.
Tonight, the RNC is expected to hear from speakers who have been impacted by violent crime. Now, former President Trump, has pointed to examples of migrants who have committed crimes and has blamed migration for the trafficking of drugs like fentanyl, even though U.S. federal data suggests that those smuggling fentanyl across border lines are U.S. citizens. Reporting for CBS 8, I'm Kirsten Holmes. Back to you.
Kirsten, adding to the intensity of all this, there are claims out there that migrants are actually entering the country to vote in the 2024 election. What did you find out about that?
Yeah, we found on CBS8.com, you can look at this story. Those claims have been unfounded. We specify which claims led to those rumors, and then we can verify that those claims are unfounded. Carlo?
Kirsten Holmes reporting for us live at the border. Thanks, Kirsten. And we'll have a wrap from inside day 2 of today's convention in Milwaukee coming up in our next half hour.
Tonight, San Diego police are investigating a homicide after a woman was shot and killed at an apartment complex in Talmadge. It happened just before 9 o'clock last night at Talmadge Gateway Apartments. San Diego police tell us a man broke into an apartment unit and attempted to steal the wallet of a 59-year-old resident. A woman inside that apartment tried to stop him, but the intruder shot and killed her. Police do not have a suspect in the crime and are trying to identify the killer. You're asked to call Crime Stoppers if you have any information about the incident. Tonight, a woman who has harassed people in one neighborhood, stole their packages or private information, and broken their trust was sentenced. We've been working for you on this story since February. Bruce Thompson, who lives in Oak Park, tells us Rashida Kimberly Dockery claimed she was homeless and needed food. So he bought her food, clothing, and even a cell phone. Thompson soon learned Dockery harassed other neighbors and even assaulted a man. In February, he reached out to CBS 8 for help. It eventually led to her being arrested. Today, she was sentenced to 2 years on felony probation.
I would hope at this point that the criminal justice system would recognize that she can't be trusted. Honestly, I still want whatever's best for her, but I also want what's best for my neighbors.
Dockery has also been ordered to stay away from the Oak Park and Webster neighborhoods.
The County Board of Supervisors passed a proposal today to look into how it can fight back against mega corporations buying up San Diego properties and driving up the cost of rent and home prices.
CBS 8's Kelly Hessedal was at today's meeting and explains what passed today and what happens next.
And that proposal that passed today passed 3-1. Now, one of the big things that will happen first is the county will direct staff to take a look at exactly how many properties are owned in San Diego County by big corporations like Blackstone.
They target naturally occurring affordable housing. They target the first-time starter homes. So they're not buying the houses, the $5 million and $10 million homes at the top of the market. They're buying the homes at the bottom of the market, and that is where we are the most impacted, and we have the least housing stock, and people are the most price squeezed.
And Supervisor Tara Lawson-Remer spearheaded this effort to really find out what can be done at a county level to stop this from happening. According to Realtor.com, the median home price in San Diego County is about $1 million. Now, under the proposal the board just approved, Lawson-Remer says they're going to investigate and sue companies that engage in price fixing. She says they'll also look at potential laws they can pass that might prevent these big Wall Street firms from buying up lots of properties. She made it clear this isn't about mom and pop investors. This is about big corporations like Blackstone, which in 2021 bought 66 buildings throughout the county. Now, the one no vote today came from Supervisor Joel Anderson, who says the focus should be on building more housing. You'll hear from him first, then from Jose Lopez with Alliance of Californians for Community Empowerment.
I know your heart's in the right place, but I'll be opposing this today. I don't see it as part of the solution. I think it's a distraction from the solution. In my district, we need more housing. We don't need to quibble over whether 10% of the market is being manipulated.
One thing that I hear all the time from people who own their homes is that we're paying more for rent than they're paying for their mortgage, right? So as we're paying more and more, how are we expected to be able to buy a home?
And Supervisor Lawson-Remer says they'll also be looking at ways to give single-family home buyers a leg up, possibly giving them preferential tax treatment. As for that report on how many homes in the county are owned by big corporations, she expects that report back in the next 90 days. Kelly Hessedal, CBS 8.
Thank you, Kelly. An update for you tonight. San Diego County supervisors passed the proposal for a 70-unit sleeping cabin site in Lemon Grove today. $8.5 million in Federal American Rescue Plan Act funds will pay for the construction and maintenance of those cabins. It will be located on Troy Street. There will also be case management for residents to help them find housing options and social services. Supervisors also deadlocked on advancing a proposal aimed at protecting young people from the potential dangers of social media apps. Earlier this month, Vice Chair Tara Lawson-Remer proposed directing the county's legal team to explore filing and/or joining a lawsuit against social media companies for what she calls their failure to protect youth mental health. Lawson-Remer says she would bring back the proposal for a board vote in August.
In just a few weeks, the Centers for Disease Control will have new requirements for people bringing dogs into the U.S. from other countries. This is mainly to prevent the dog rabies virus from re-entering the U.S.
CBS 8's Alex Lai finds out what it all means for dogs coming across the border.
Some of the dogs you see here up for adoption were rescued in Mexico. The animal pad rescues dogs from across the border. CBS 8 spoke with the rescue last year about the living conditions some dogs are found in.
Malnourished, really awful conditions.
There's parts of it that look like a graveyard. There are bones and dead dogs in bags, starving to death.
The organization has rescued hundreds of dogs from Mexico to get adopted in San Diego.
When I tell you that it's the most rewarding thing that so many of us have ever done, it's absolutely true. To take these dogs from the conditions that they come from and bring them into your house and show them love, affection, and care for the first time, it's the way that they're grateful is beyond.
Now, bringing large quantities of dogs across the border may be more difficult. The CDC has specific requirements depending on where the dog has been and if or where they got a rabies vaccine. For dogs crossing the U.S.-Mexico border into San Diego, they will be required to be at least 6 months old, have an ISO-compatible microchip implanted, appear healthy at time of entry, fill out a CDC dog import form, and have specific documentation of a rabies vaccine. I spoke with a U.S. Customs and Border Protection spokesperson. They say the new requirements are not expected to impact border wait times, and processing should be quick as long as documents are in order. But why is the CDC doing this now? It's to prevent rabies coming back into the United States. The U.S. eliminated the dog-to-dog rabies virus in 2007, but it's still present in more than 100 countries. Dogs imported with rabies can infect both pets and people. The requirements will go into effect August 1st. I'm Alex Lai for CBS 8.
Thank you, Alex. We're about a day away from the start of San Diego Pride weekend festivities.
Here at CBS 8, we are proud partners with San Diego Pride. And for the first time, we'll be airing our parade live on the CW San Diego. You can watch Saturday, July 20th, starting at 10 a.m. Carlo, Evan, and I will be hosting the parade. And we'll also be live streaming the parade on CBS 8 Plus and on our digital platforms like we've done for the past couple of years.
It's going to be fun.